Hey guys, this is Party Games Tips and Tricks, and just so you guys know that you're not listening to some unqualified guy who has no idea what he's talking about, here's just some of the flawless games I got today in the few hours that I've been playing. Here's the rest of the video. Starting off here, we have animal slaughter. Now, the trick to animal slaughter is to go for the pigs and the cows because they have triple and quintuple the scores of the chickens. Now, if you see a cow across the map, it's usually you should probably go for it, but sometimes pigs are just the better option depending on how many there are. If you see a cow running at you like you see on screen there, definitely hit it because you know that someone else has hit it and you know it's not a negative 50%. Now, the thing about the not going for chickens, the reason you don't want to, is because it takes you time, like your reflexes, you don't want to waste any time that you could be spending doing something. So basically, let's say that there are 5 chickens for 1 cow. 1 cow takes, say, half a second for your reflexes to kick in, right? And you're like, oh yeah, I should kill this cow. But you go for chickens, that's 5 half seconds to go for the chickens, which is why the cows are always the better deal. That's all I've got for animal slaughter. Let's go on to the next one. Trampolinio. Now, my way of winning Trampolinio is going for the 3s automatically. Basically, every single 3 you see. There is something that you should keep in mind here, which is a really good thing to know. The hitboxes for the wool or whatever you're collecting, right? They're at the very bottom. So you're going to want to hit, like land on top of it, or hit it from the bottom. Do not hit it from the side or it most likely won't register. When you go for 3s, you should always check around to make sure there aren't any boosters next to 10s because those are the ones you want to go for. But don't ever go for the 1s, they really just aren't worth it. That's all I've got for Trampolinio, and now on to RPG 16. RPG 16. This is one of my personal favorites as you get to shoot around a homing pig. I mean, who doesn't like shooting exploding homing pigs? It's pretty cool. Enough about my opinion though, this is a tips and tricks video. My way of winning the RPG 16 is really just to go around jumping up and down as you can see me, as you have a double jump feature that regenerates over time. Now, if you jump up and down and then like shoot down onto players and then aim, basically, I don't know how to give a description on how the pig really works. It goes towards where your cursor is, but it can feel a bit different. So you're going to really need to get the feel of this. It's not really something I can just explain, you have to learn it. One of the other things you can do though, and I actually like doing this occasionally, is I go up on the side. You see the side walls there. You can land on those, and sometimes people just don't end up looking up. So you can aim, like right here, you see me just standing there, and aiming down and shooting down on the people below. One good thing to note is that people have 3 lives during this, so aiming for somebody that just spawned in may not be a good idea because someone can snipe your kill. It doesn't matter if you've gotten 2 hits on somebody, if you don't kill them, you don't get the kill. So basically, if you see someone take damage, go for them. It might be a good idea, or it actually almost is always the greatest idea that you can go for. Anyway, that's all I've got for RPG 16, and on to the next one. The floor is lava, one of the 2 parkour ones that you can do. Basically, it's just a parkour. There's one strategy that you can do, and that is to start on the very far right or left side of the map and basically make your way through. Now, if you saw back there, I actually did hit the D key during it, which is not something you should be doing during the parkour. You actually should turn your crosshair, like just look, because it actually is faster, and I could have lost if there was someone actually, better at parkour or something like that. But this one's a pretty quick one, and that's pretty much all I've got to say about this one. Fire Leapers. This is one of the most ping-based games out there. It's pretty stupid, honestly. I don't really like this one, but there is some tips and tricks I do have for it. Now, what you're going to want to do is go on F5, as you see me here, and basically just go sideways. You're going to want to back up, have the fire trail on the left side of the map, and back up so you can see it. So this gives you the most amount of time for reaction later on. Now, this could go for about 1,000,000 years if you're playing with the right person, so I'm basically just gonna speed it up. It's kind of boring, honestly. Ho Ho Ho. This is honestly one of my favorite games. It's a pretty cool one, and what you want to do is conquer the most land possible. You're going to want to start off finding an area with the least amount of players, and then go on the offensive here, where you want to attack all of the land that you can get, and just block all of the land you could possibly obtain, and basically just conquer everything. Now, one thing to note here is that sometimes the timer runs out before you've, hoed all the land that you can get. So if there are two players that do this and do it well, you're going to want to, have to hoe faster than the other person, which can get a bit hard. But as you can see on the right side of the screen, I did it successfully where no one else has as much land or is at least even close to as fast as I am. But you'll see that the timer actually runs out before I finish hoeing the land, which is exactly why you should be, conscious of exactly what's happening. Because if you aren't, someone could hoe all the land, or hoe more land, even though you've got more land that you could be hoeing. Volcano. It's basically a spin-off of TNT Run, except you don't have to be running constantly, so you can just do whatever you want for the first few seconds. But once most of the blocks are gone, all you need to do is basically find the area that is going gray or going into red mode last. So just basically look around for all the grays, stay in an area where there's a lot of gray, and then just wait. But make sure not to stay on the reds for too long. As you can see here, I'm staying on the, orange and then jumping off when it gets to orange or red. Then you go on the one that turned, yellow last, the one that was basically gray longest, and there you go. This was a flawless game, so I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, on to the next games. Jigsaw Rush. Tips on this depend on the person. If you can memorize all of it at once and you have a photographic memory, all you really need is hotkeys just to be able to get to the things faster. But if you're like the rest of us, you can only memorize like 2 or 3. Go back and forth, just look at 2 of them, place 2, look at 3 of them, place 3. It really depends on what you can do. But really, hotkeys are the most important thing here because, getting to the actual things and placing them faster is insanely awesome. That's all I've got to say, and on to the next one. Bombardment. This is one of the broken minigames that for some reason they haven't decided to fix because as you can see on screen there, in that white rectangle or white square, you can literally get there before the game starts and then you're just completely home free. Like, bruh, why is that a thing in the game? You know what, it doesn't matter, Here's a tip, don't jump off the map like that one guy did because there's no way to get back on the map to my knowledge. Also, standing closer to the cannon, as you can see me walk forward a bit, standing closer to the cannon is definitely the place you want to be. I back up because, I kind of like staying in the middle and just having a challenge, but there are less cannon fires that normally go towards the cannon itself, so basically standing near the edge is where you'll see me close to end up. I don't end up exactly at the edge, which I could have won easier if I had stood right next to the edge, but basically just eye track everything and avoid the cannons. There isn't really much to say other than stand close to the edge. Pig fishing. For those of you who are a board game family like I was, you may remember this game, Hungry Hungry Hippos. This is basically the Minecraft version. You take this fishing rod and you fish out the pigs, and you get them into your little area. Now, what you want to be doing is getting these pigs in your area, obviously, but there is one thing you should note, and you see me here doing it. You can click on the ground and it just will, you right click the ground and nothing happens. It won't actually reel it in, so just be wary of that. The real tip and trick to this is basically just reel it in, hold sprint, fishing rod, and then back up and reel something in. And then boom, you see me doing it here. It works like a charm. Everything is great. You should see me get a super bacon soon. The super bacons are the ones with the emerald stuff, like the emerald, whatever it is, the charms, the happy villager things, right? That stuff. And boom, everything is about to go up. You see those wools? You see the wool that makes everything harder for everyone else except me? It's great. Everyone else has a hard time and you're just sitting there like, oh yeah, this is easy. It's amazing. Anyway, here's basically the game. Yep, I won. Back up. That's all I've got to say. Frozen floor. This one's pretty cool, other than, you know, the snowballs not actually functioning properly half the time, you know, ping is a thing. Anyway, when you throw your snowballs, you want to aim ahead of where someone's running, because for some reason, Hypixel decides to die half the time that you're playing this game, and the snowballs just don't react half the time. So, really, I don't know what to explain. You just see it here, you kind of got to get used to it. Jumping is not a good idea if you're getting shot at unless you're near an edge or trying to, you know, push someone off the edge, as you see me doing there. But, you know, basically run around, stay away from edges, stay in the middle, and good luck. I've got but one thing to say to you during this. Aim for the gold. Actually, you know what? I've got two things to say to you. If there's a TNT, 100% aim for that thing. If you can shoot that TNT, it's amazing, okay? You get 1 point for, like, a zombie. That's nothing compared to the 10 for a gold. You get the TNT right, you basically, it's a free shot on the gold. You don't even have to aim. And the TNT itself gives you points too, I believe. So, you know, basically, TNT, 100% of the time, amazing. Gold, it's 10 points. That you only have to shoot 6 of them to win the game. It's just, you see that there were 90 seconds left on that game and I still won. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. Cannon painting. All you gotta do is not do what I'm doing right here. I mean, do what I'm doing, but don't do it in the front. Because as you can see here, I'm getting hit by players. I mean, I'm not getting hit by players, I'm hitting other players, which is causing many problems. Here's the real kicker though. Aim everywhere that isn't the middle. You see the middle? It's freaking no man's land. Everyone is just messing around there. You see that? There's like the purple, blue, gray, everything that you don't want to see is there. On the top, though, there's still white there. People aren't even aiming there. At the very last few seconds, sure, aim for the middle, just get everything you can. But don't aim for the middle during the middle of it. It just doesn't work. It's gonna get covered up. Aim around the sides. Avalanche, the most luck-based game there is in party games. I hate this game. I hate it a lot. I hate it with a passion. This game is absolutely terrible. We're gonna actually, you know, fast forward through a bit of this until we get to the PvP. But as you can see here, when it comes to the PvP, some people actually live through you hitting them, and they just live through the freaking avalanche. How does that work? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If you're the one under it, you're the one that should survive, not the people on the outside. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about this one. I don't like it. It's luck-based. On to the next one. Lab Escape. The only thing I can say about this one is really just mine the first block, and if you have bad ping, it should be easier for you. Just make sure that the first 2 aren't, you know, reflex-based, because the rest of this is really going to be reflex-based. Sure, you can try to look on the side and figure out which blocks are, you know, next, but doing that actually, I've found, has just been more of a distraction than it actually helped. All I can say here is really just hotkeys, and I'm going to fast forward through the rest of this. Jungle Jump. This is just like the other parkour. You start on the left side, maybe a bit towards the middle, so you can actually get those jumps just in case, you know. And all I can really say about this one is, you know, start on the back or front left side, because it gets you the fastest start without, you know, some problems that could potentially occur, like you hit the thing and it just slows you down, or you're a bit behind the game. And it usually comes down to the milliseconds if you're really good and they're fighting against somebody that is really good with the parkour. That's all I've really got to say, is start in the front left and on to the next one. Pig Jousting, the ultimate show of skill. This is where you can really become a man. That's right, you hide in a corner the entire time. Look, you don't get any benefits from killing people. There is literally no reason to go out there. See all those people, all the Chads fighting out there? Look at them. They're killing themselves. It's not working out for them, is it? Look, you kill somebody, you don't get some health benefit. You just get death. You get your health down, and then someone else, like me, just comes in and claims you get one-tapped. It doesn't go well. See this? You want to win the game? You hide in a corner. This is the real strategy. Alright, on to the next one. Anvil Spleef. all you do for Anvil Spleef is stand on one block, right? Stand on one block, look up. Now, you see that anvil? When the anvil starts falling, you walk in a direction that you know there are blocks. When you see an anvil falling, you have to look down and then see blocks, okay? This is what you're supposed to do. You see an anvil, you got to be conscious of the things around you. I mean, you can tell me here, somebody got mad that I was good at the game, okay? And they started saying I was bad. So you know what I did? I started typing during this. And you know what they did? They started walking in front of me to try to kill me. These people are so mad that they tried to kill me. They had to target me, and I still lived. I mean, let's just let this play out here. I mean, you guys know the strategy. Really all I can say to you is, you know, wait on one spot until an anvil comes, and then, you know, run around or run to the next block when you can. Just like this. Anvil comes, and then you jump. And then boom, I win. Right here, we have dive. You see me with 1 second left, sprint jump. You see how everyone's ahead? That's because I did it a bit too late. I should have done it with 2 seconds on the clock. You know, if you time it exactly right, you can actually start faster than everyone. Now, the run off the platform and the jump off the platform, I'm not actually sure which one's faster, but really what matters is making sure that you get the jumps. Jump into an area where there is the most amount of space possible, because if you do that, you basically just have to be good at the dropper to do this, right? Because you block up the area and make it harder for everyone else, so there's no like open spaces for everyone else to go, and you're good at the dropper, you can land in those 1x1 spaces, you're almost guaranteed to win. Because in the amount of times that I've played this, I don't think I've ever had anyone actually, you know, perfectly do this the way I have before. So basically, it's just get good at the dropper and land in the open spaces at the start just to block off everyone else from being able to do this. And here it is, the last one, just like that. And that's a win. Lawn mower. There are 2 ways you can do this. One of them is the good idea way, and one of them is the bad idea way. As you see here, this is me doing the bad idea way, which is me trying to attack my arch nemesis here, the only guy that could actually cause me problems. And instead of going around the outside, gathering the most amount of grass possible, and slowing down the least, I decided to attack him. Eventually, I pull off and just go off on my own. And basically, you're going to want to go in a spiral, okay? Find areas that have grass and spin. But you see me spinning slowly, right? If you spin too fast, you're going to lose momentum, which is going to get you less and less grass. Don't spin too fast. There is one ridiculously important thing that I'm surprised more people don't know about this, or at least I've seen people not doing this recently, and I don't know if they're just like, if they just haven't played this very much. Holding W and your sprint key actually makes you go faster in this. So make sure that you are holding W in your sprint key, which for me is shift. It is amazing how much faster you go. It's just, you get so much more grass. Chicken race. This is where the ultimate parkour strategy of strafing as little as possible comes in. You'll see in a minute here that I actually take this too far since I haven't practiced not strafing very much, and I end up missing a ring, which actually slows you down more than strafing does. The only reason that strafing is good, and I mean not strafing is good, is because when you're in a 1v1, right? Let's say that both of you just don't miss rings, and you see there that I missed one right there, which actually slows me down the most. But the one person that could have beat me has just missed a ring, which is why everything is great. All I need to do is strafe as little as possible, because strafing slows you down, but not as much as missing a ring, obviously. Basically, all I can say for this is strafe as little as possible. I would have showed you a different recording, but I didn't get chicken rings very much, so I had to use this recording. Sorry. Spider maze. Basically, all I can say for you guys is F5, look over the wall, and see if you either recognize a path or you see a path. I don't believe the maze changes, which is exactly why I get to the middle so fast, because I actually recognize the way to get to mid this time. One other thing that I can say, though, there is one other tip. If a spider is chasing you, like if you run into a dead end and you get chased by your spider, you can turn around and actually jump over the spider if you time it right. If you get hit by a spider, you're going to want to try to run the direction the spider was trying to chase you, just so you can not get comboed by it, because you should take a few good hits. Anyway, that's all I've got for this, and on to the last one. Or maybe it is not the last one, I'm not sure. Minecart Racing. This game, you're supposed to shoot your colored wool. Now, as you can see, everyone else has their colored wool on the first two. I myself have to aim for the third one. Now, aiming a regular bow, right, makes sense. You aim supposedly at the target and you can tell where the actual, you're adjusted for a regular bow, right? I'm assuming if you're a Minecraft player. This one, you have to aim way above your target if you're aiming forward, way below your target if you're aiming backwards, way to the right of your target if you're looking to the right, and way to the left of your target if you're looking to the left. Now, that's really all I've got to say. This game is RNG based, as you saw. I somehow won, but that was only because I had really, really good aim. I mean, did you see that I didn't even get any of my color in the first two? Absolutely ridiculous. Super Sheep. I'm sure all of you have heard of the popular game Slither.io. This is basically Slither.io. You've got that same boost feature, except you can run into yourself and you don't get bigger. You just, I guess you technically get bigger, but it just happens over time without you getting, pellets or whatever you want to call them. What you're going to want to do is basically block off all the other people here, just like you see me doing. Conserve your boost. You gain it over time. It's completely fine if you use it now, but make sure to leave a path for yourself so you don't end up blocking yourself in. You see me leave a path for myself right here. I don't go right next to the blue, or the light blue, because I need to be able to get back there if I want to, actually go around. Just like this, you see that, and then I go right to conserve the most amount of space. Just basically don't back yourself into a corner, block off other people if you can, and be the last man standing. Or the last sheep. Or the last wolf, in my case. Just like that, you see the person back themselves into the corner, and GG's. High ground. I don't actually have any gameplay of this because I spent 3 hours trying to get gameplay footage for you guys. So what you're going to have to deal with is this. This is the high ground. I'm sure all of you have heard of King of the Hill. You're supposed to be the last man standing up here, or really just hold this the longest you can. See, people here and people here, they battle each other with fish, and fish have knockback. They slap each other off the mountain, so this guy, right, or this guy hits this guy, and he goes all the way down here, and he has to get back up, hit this guy off. All of a sudden, this guy's down here, and he's up here. Basically, all I can say for this is stay in the middle, crouch, maybe stay near the edge if you can, and basically, if you see someone over here with like a score of really high, and you're over here like a score that's slightly lower, aim for the guy that's really high, because you want to knock them off the leaderboard, because the less amount of people on the leaderboard, the more likely it is that you're going to be the one on the leaderboard. That's all I've really got to say. I'm sorry I don't have any footage. I literally spent 3 hours looking for this game, and I kind of gave up after literally 2 hours of having all the footage for the other games. So I didn't just spend 3 hours and just not find this. I spent 1 hour gathering everything else, and then 2 hours specifically looking for this and couldn't find it. So, I'm sorry. That's all I've got for you. Alright, that is the end of the tips and tricks video for the party games. I hope that this helped you. If it did, maybe consider subscribing and, maybe even drop a like, comment something down below. Really helps the channel. Anyway, I hope this helped you, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream. Holy crap, my voice is dead from doing all these voiceovers. Goodbye, guys!